How to fix Rainbow Six Siege crashing and freezing after loading screen by resetting game settings. Welcome back to Technobalta. Rainbow Six Siege, despite its enduring popularity, can unfortunately present frustrating technical hurdles, particularly crashes and freezes occurring immediately after the loading screen. This perplexing issue often leaves players with powerful, modern systems such as those equipped with AMD's Ryzen 7 7800X3D and NVIDIA's RTX 5070, as seen in recent reports searching for stability. While myriad factors can contribute to game instability, a frequently overlooked culprit is corrupted or misconfigured game settings, which can trigger immediate application termination before gameplay even commences. This deep dive guide will systematically explore a comprehensive array of solutions, starting with the critical game settings reset, to help you resolve these frustrating interruptions and restore seamless gameplay. Here are 20 deep technical solutions to address Rainbow Six Siege crashing and freezing after the loading screen. Resetting game settings manually. The primary fix often lies in deleting corrupted configuration files, forcing the game to generate fresh, default settings upon next launch. Navigate to Documents / My Games / Rainbow Six Siege / Locate game settings.ini and any associated .ini or configuration files, then delete them. This action ensures the game initializes without carrying over any potentially problematic custom or corrupted settings. Reinstall BattlEye anti-cheat. BattlEye, the anti-cheat system, can sometimes become corrupted or improperly installed, leading to game launch failures. Access the BattlEye folder within your Rainbow Six Siege installation directory, typically C:\program files, x86, /Ubisoft /Ubisoft Game Launcher /Games /Rainbow Six Siege /BattlEye. Then execute uninstall battleye.bat followed by install battleye.bat run as an administrator to ensure a clean reinstallation. This process refreshes the anti-cheat integration, often resolving unexpected crashes related to its operation. Perform a clean graphics driver installation. Even if your drivers are updated, residual files from previous installations can cause conflicts. Use Display Driver Uninstaller (DDU) in Windows Safe Mode to completely remove all traces of current and old NVIDIA drivers. Then download and install the very latest official driver package directly from NVIDIA's website. This ensures a pristine driver environment, eliminating potential software layer incompatibilities. Rollback graphics drivers to a previous stable version. In some cases, the newest driver might introduce specific regressions or incompatibilities with Rainbow Six Siege or your specific hardware configuration. Experiment with an older, known stable driver version, typically 1 or 2 releases prior to the latest, after performing a clean uninstallation using DDU. This approach helps isolate if the issue is driver-related, offering a temporary or permanent workaround until a new, compatible driver is released. Verify game files' integrity. Corrupted or missing game files are a common source of crashes, especially after updates or system changes. Utilize the Verify Files or Verify Game Integrity function within your game client, either Ubisoft Connect or Steam, to scan and repair any discrepancies in the game's installation. This process compares your local files against the server's master copy, ensuring the game executable and its assets are intact. Run Rainbow Six Siege as administrator. Insufficient administrative privileges can prevent the game or its anti-cheat system from accessing necessary system resources or writing critical data. Right-click on the Rainbow Six Siege executable or its shortcut, select Run as Administrator, and also configure the game's executable properties to always run with administrative privileges. This elevation can bypass permission-related blockages causing crashes. Disable full-screen optimizations. Windows full-screen optimizations, intended to improve performance, can paradoxically cause instability and crashes in certain games. Locate the Rainbow6.exe executable in the game's installation folder, right-click it, go to Properties, then the Compatibility tab, and check Disable Full-Screen Optimizations. This reverts to traditional exclusive full-screen mode, which is often more stable for older game engines or specific display setups. Disable all overlay applications. Overlays from applications like Ubisoft Connect, Discord, GeForce Experience, or Steam can interfere with game processes, especially during loading sequences. Access the settings of each respective application and disable their in-game overlay features entirely. This reduces the number of hooks into the game's rendering pipeline, minimizing potential conflicts that lead to crashes or freezes. Check for pending Windows updates. An outdated operating system can lack critical stability patches or runtime components required by modern games. Ensure your Windows installation is fully updated by navigating to Settings, Update and Security, Windows Update, and checking for available updates. System-level stability enhancements can directly impact game performance and crash resilience. Add game and BattlEye to antivirus exclusions. Your antivirus software might mistakenly identify game files or the BattlEye anti-cheat as malicious, interfering with their operation or quarantining essential executables. Manually add the Rainbow Six Siege installation folder and the BattlEye directory to your antivirus program's exclusion list. This ensures uninterrupted access and execution for the game and its critical security components. Adjust in-game graphics settings, even on high-end systems. Starting with excessively high graphics settings can sometimes trigger stability issues, particularly during initial load. Launch the game in safe mode or adjust settings outside the game if possible, and then lower graphical presets, e.g., to medium or high, not ultra, and disable demanding features like VSync or anti-aliasing. Gradually increase settings to identify any specific option causing instability. Monitor system temperatures. Overheating of your CPU or GPU can lead to thermal throttling and system instability, resulting in crashes. Use monitoring software like HW Monitor or MSI Afterburner to observe CPU and GPU temperatures while playing. Ensure adequate cooling and clean out any dust from your system's fans and heat sinks, as sustained high temperatures compromise hardware stability. Perform a clean boot of Windows. A clean boot starts Windows with a minimal set of drivers and startup programs, helping to identify background applications conflicting with Rainbow Six Siege. Open System Configuration (msconfig), disable all non-Microsoft services, and disable all startup items from Task Manager. Restart your computer and test the game. If it runs stably, re-enable services and items incrementally to pinpoint the culprit. Update BIOS/UEFI firmware. The basic input-output system, BIOS, or Unified Extensible Firmware Interface, UEFI, is critical for system hardware initialization and compatibility. Visit your motherboard manufacturer's website and download the latest stable BIOS/UEFI firmware update for your specific model. Updating the firmware can improve system stability, memory compatibility, and overall hardware interaction, especially with newer components like the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. Check RAM stability with Memory Diagnostic. Faulty or unstable RAM modules can manifest as random crashes, especially during intensive loading or gameplay. Run the Windows Memory Diagnostic tool or a third-party utility like MEMTest86 to thoroughly check your RAM for errors. Any detected errors necessitate further investigation, potentially requiring replacement of the affected memory stick. Reinstall Ubisoft Connect and/or Steam clients. The game launcher itself can occasionally become corrupted, leading to issues with game launching, updates, or authentication. Completely uninstall Ubisoft Connect and/or Steam from your system, then download and perform a fresh installation of the latest client version. This ensures the integrity of the platform managing your game, resolving potential client-side conflicts. Temporarily disable XMP/EXPO profile, Extreme Memory Profile, XMP, or Extended Profiles for Overclocking, EXPO. Settings in your BIOS configure RAM to run at advertised speeds, which can sometimes be unstable depending on the motherboard and CPU's memory controller. Temporarily disable XMP/EXPO in your BIOS to run RAM at its default JETX speeds. If the crashes cease, your RAM overclock might be unstable, requiring adjustments or a less aggressive profile. Ensure adequate power supply unit, PSU, stability. A new, powerful GPU like the RTX 5070 demands consistent and stable power delivery from your power supply. Ensure your PSU has sufficient wattage for your entire system and that its connections to the GPU and motherboard are secure. Insufficient or unstable power can lead to system instability, sudden reboots, or application crashes under load. Run System File Checker, SFC, and DISM commands. Corrupted Windows system files can profoundly impact game stability. Open Command Prompt as an administrator and execute SFC/scannow to repair protected operating system files, followed by DISM/online/cleanupimage/restore health to repair the Windows component store. These tools are vital for maintaining core OS integrity, which directly affects application execution. Reinstall Rainbow Six Siege. Last resort if all other troubleshooting steps fail. A complete reinstallation of Rainbow Six Siege is often the most effective last resort for deeply ingrained software corruption. Uninstall the game through your game client, then manually delete any remaining folders in its installation path and your documents /my games directory. Perform a fresh download and installation to ensure every game file is pristine. Systematic troubleshooting is key to resolving persistent game crashes. By working through these comprehensive solutions, you can identify and rectify the underlying cause of Rainbow Six Siege crashing and freezing after the loading screen, ensuring a stable and enjoyable gaming experience on your powerful system. Don't forget to follow Technobalta for more in-depth technical guides and solutions.